So there is another thing which basically is called the don't care point or the don't care condition, which really means that you don't care about the output of the circuit if a particular input appears, right. So you can see here in some of the cases we were forced to put the output as 0, okay, which could often for example hinder grouping process, right. For example, I can, so let me explain the don't care condition using another color here. Let us say this purple color, like don't care. Let us say if you had this particular thing as don't care, that this particular input is guaranteed, let us say, to not appear for some reason, right. I am not saying that it will not appear for this particular example, but in a particular problem, a particular input combination, I don't care about what is that output. So I can leverage the structure of the K map to either to my benefit, either I can put it as 1 or put it as 0. So because it does not matter, right. So if I can put it as 1 hypothetically, I can actually create a larger group, okay, and this larger group is going to help me in simplifying the circuit more, okay. So that is the main point of using K maps with don't care. You will be given a choice that for some inputs the output of the circuit is not necessary to be 1 or 0. I will not take into account whatever is the output for those given inputs, okay. So you have an engineering choice to choose don't care patterns intelligently as 1 or 0 to better simplify the circuit. This is purely an engineering choice, because for those inputs, that illegal inputs or whatever inputs, let us say in this particular case I am saying A, B, C, D, 1, 1, 1, 1 is a don't care condition, which basically means for this particular input I don't care about whatever is the output. Output could be 1, output could be 0, it is your freedom, okay, which basically says that this kind of inputs are not going to be given to the system typically, otherwise it does not make any sense, because it is up to you to make a choice, correct. So in those cases you can, if I use that particular output as 1, I can leverage this K map grouping structure to make the circuit more and more simple, okay, because I can create a larger group. This is the larger group, okay. So similarly here, that is what I have shown. Let us say A, B, C, D's are your inputs and F and G are your 2 outputs. These are don't care conditions. So for the remaining part of the inputs, those are not don't care. You cannot just arbitrarily put whatever you feel like, but these are don't care conditions. This X and X, whatever we have for F and G, it could be anything. It could be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, right. Does not matter, because these inputs are such that I don't care, okay, these 2 particular inputs, and they are typically written as an X. In K map also we will typically write them as an X, okay. So if you write them as an X, that is, let me clean it off a little bit. So yeah, this was a wrong this thing, right. Ideally this was 1 and this was not the one, it was swapped accidentally. So if you have to use this as a don't care condition, you have to replace it by an X. So the X is going to be 1 or 0 according to your wish. Let us say you want to, even these are don't care conditions. So what I would have done, this will be also X, this will be also X. You can actually form a tremendously large grouping, and this grouping is going to evaluate to just C, right. A, B, D will all vanish. This entire huge group that we are going to have is just going to evaluate to C, okay. So this is how you can leverage this don't care conditions if there are, right. Sometimes all the inputs are valid and you cannot use separate don't care conditions. In case you can use don't care conditions, you have this engineering choice, remember, to make the circuit more simplified. I will give you one more example, which is called BCD increment. BCD is called binary coded decimal digits, okay. So if you have 0 to 9, right, you have to increment them, right. So, if you have 0, if there is a circuit that is going to increment that particular value, 0 is going to be incremented to 1. If you have 1, it is going to be incremented to 2, but if it is 9, right, 9 is going to be incremented to what? That is the question. After 9, we cannot have 10 here, because this is just going to be a decimal number. We typically see this in like stopwatches and so on. So, it is 0 to 9 and then back to 0, right. So, this is 6, 7, 8, 9, then again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right. So, this is the complete loop. Here also you are not expecting any values like 10 as an input, never, right. It is only the output is always going to be from 0 0 0 0 to 1 0 0 1. 1 0 0 1 is technically 9, okay. After 9 it will become 0 again, right. That is by definition your BCD incrementing function, binary coded decimal incrementing function, okay. So, I have also stated it here. These are all don't care conditions. The conditions that are mentioned from 10 onwards to 15. So, this is your 10th mean term, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. You don't care, right, because these are the inputs that are guaranteed not to appear. Even if they appear, these are illegal inputs, right. So, the outputs are should be unexpected, and the designer or the customer who wants to use this particular circuit in his or her own design should be okay with that, right, because in a BCD increment BCD increment circuit, you are not expected to give an input which is more than 9, okay. If it happen to give, then it is your responsibility to not interpret the output. So, this pattern should never be encountered, and this could be associated with don't cares, maybe for simplifying the circuit, okay. So, if you see the K map for BCD increment, say ABCD is your term, which is basically the term in your truth table. You add 1 to that and you get WXYZ, right. So, this is your output, okay. So, you are going to have output simplified for all W, X, Y and Z, because there are 4 outputs. These are all outputs, okay. These are all outputs. There are 4 outputs, W, X, Y and Z, and all of them W, X, Y and Z are going to have a circuit of their own, okay. So, if you very easily see that if you take W, there are only 2 mean terms, right. One is this 7 M7 and the other one is M8. But if you just take these 2 mean terms, you are going to be left with this huge expression, right, and they will have like kind of, you cannot really do anything about it, right. This like M7 and M8, M7 plus M8, right. But the point, you also take into account these don't care conditions in the K map. This shows up something like this. This could be further simplified, right. You can start grouping them. Like this could be a group and so on, okay. Similarly for X, right, you can always group something like this, okay. You can create further groups. For example, here you can group something like this, right. So, this is the way you can explore this don't care conditions. If it is guaranteed that nothing is going to be that place is really a don't care condition, and you are not going to have any mandate that whether you have to put a 0 or have to put a 1 based on the truth table. Since that mandate is not given, you just easily assume that 1 or 0, that flexibility has been given to you, and you keep on circling those items, right, okay. So, Z without don't, so this is Z, right. So, Z without don't cares is going to be this thing, right. These are the 4 you can always wrap around, and so this is A bar, D bar, and then you have these two, you can always again wrap around. This is B bar, C bar and D, and if you have Z calculated with the don't care condition, then you can have something like this and then wrap around, right, in both sides. So, this is going to be wrapped around like this here, which is just D bar, okay, because this is your C bar D bar and this is your C D bar. So, the C vanishes out and across the rows everything vanishes out because all of them are being taken, right, A bar B bar, A bar B, A B as well as A B bar. So, they are all going to vanish out, only thing that is going to be remaining is D bar. So, this is much more convenient. So, if you want to design a circuit with this don't cares, you are going to get an extra benefit by using this don't care conditions judiciously, right. That can be saving you a lot of gates and improve the efficiency of the circuit. So, the K-map summary is this Karnaugh map as a formal systematic approach for logic simplification. We can do 2, 3, 4 variable K-maps, even 5 is possible, but 5 is a little bit more involved. You have to typically do 2 4 maps, 4 variable K-maps, and one for the 5th variable. You can have a 4 variable K-map for, let us say the 5th variable is let us say L. You want to have a 4 variable K-map for L, another 4 variable K-map for L bar, right, and then do the grouping accordingly. So, that is a little bit more involved, but 2, 3 and 4 variable K-maps are something that we will be using in this particular course, right. We are not going to go into 5 or 6. And K-maps with don't care outputs are also very important. This is a very specific way to group or club terms in our benefit and make the simplification better or easier. Okay. So, we will stop here. We will have discussed all the different aspects related to combinational circuits. We looked into the common, if I am revising, right, common combinational logic blocks, designing combinational logic for desired operation, right, from a truth table, simplification of the K-maps, the simplification of the boolean expression from truth table using K-maps. So, these are the 3 major components that we have learned here. So, I had been telling you that apart from using the Boolean algebra axioms to simplify these circuits or simplify these expressions, we can now always use this K-map method, which is less of a hit and trial and it is a more structured way, but you need to remember the rules of the K-map. You need to create these circles as bigger as possible and the fewer number of circles, and whatever rules I have been just telling you. We have done one of these practices, and make sure that you don't commit the same mistake that I have done, right. So, make sure that you write in gray code, and when you copy the numbers from the truth table to the K-map, they should be consistent, right. There is a lot of chance that you sometimes miss these values, okay. So, rectangular groups of size 2 to the power k for any integer 2, which basically means either 2 or 4 or 8, right. You cannot group 6 elements, right. You have to either group in multiples of or the size of 2 to the power k. And wraparounds are very important. Please remember the wraparound thing. Groupings are very important. Biggest groupings eliminate more variables, and fewest number of groupings, as little number of circles as possible. And once you are done with that, you can OR the individual circles, and every individual circle is going to represent a particular implicant, right. So, it is going to be a AND of some literals, say A bar B C, right. and like that you are going to have several ones based on how many groups you have created, and there could be some dangling ones, right? Some of the ones you could not create a group with anybody else, they should also come. So they are basically some prime implicant, they are going to have all the, it's basically a min term, right? They are going to have all the different variables, and you are going to OR them together to create the simplified boolean expression, which is likely going to reduce the number of gates required by a factor, right? Depending on whether the expression was simplifiable or not, this will reduce the number of gates, because as you see here, right, here with this don't care, for example, this has reduced. But even if you consider things like let's say SOP, right, sum of products, right, sum of products versus K-map, that can give you a good improvement. Okay, so typically in case of F1, we saw in this example that we have discussed just now, no simplification was possible. In that case, the sum of products is equal to whatever the K-map gives you, right? But in case there is an opportunity to do simplification, K-map is going to be used or being helpful. Okay, lesser number of gates. And then we also looked at K-map with don't care condition. If we use K-map with don't care condition, the circuit size can be even reduced, right? Because you are clubbing more number of terms, the groups are going to be larger and larger. So this is going to lead to a further simplified expression. Okay. So with this, we are going to conclude the discussion on combinational circuits. We are going to do some tutorial exercises. I think you are going to also solve some assignments. I am also going to take you through some problems, right? And one thing that we should look at least spend 1 or 2 classes is how do you actually design the circuits in a hands-on way using some simulators. So there are many online simulators that are available, and given the truth table, you should be, or given the Boolean expression, you should be able to build the circuit using this gates, right? Basic gates, AND gates, OR gates, NOT gates, XOR gates, and so on, and see the output, right? So the outputs could be typically interpreted as let's say ones and zeros could be interpreted as a high voltage or low voltage. Typically we can connect an LED, right, light emitting diode, which is a visual indicator, right, whether an output is 1 or 0. We can create simple circuits, and it will be kind of fun, right? We can spend 1 or 2 more classes where we take real problems, right, for combinational circuits and convert them into circuit diagrams and simulate those circuits. We'll be able to see the output, what is going on for various inputs. Okay, so I'll conclude here. Okay, thank you.